Welcome to episode 15 of our road to 1500. As you'll see, I'm back in my usual surroundings and have returned back home. We're currently at 1212 rating. We're going to play a game of 1510 and try to continue our rise towards 1500. Let's hit play and see who we're playing. We're playing with the black pieces against Larcy88, who's in 1194. They've played king's pawn to e4. I'm going to play c6. Get ready to play the Caro Kann. They've brought their knight to f3. We're going to continue with d5. And this will result in the exchange Caro Kann, just in a slightly different move order than you might usually see, because they've brought their knight out a bit early, but now they bring the pawn down. Bring our knight out, knight to f6. We're going to look to bring our knight out here, our knight out here. We can look to pin this. Okay, so that's kind of like almost like a Panov move, which is kind of interesting. I think I will bring my knight out to start with. So this is a little bit different to what I'd normally see with them playing that pawn to c4, and they're potentially looking to take here. But I could take with this knight, or I could take with the queen. Now I've got my bishop out, I can also push the pawn here. So I guess we'll see whether they actually take. They've brought their bishop out, so I think actually I will just bring my pawn up. They are advancing the pawn, so that's kind of interesting. I think what we'll try and do is attack this pawn. That's going to be my mission. I will actually bring my knight to this square. So we're seeing a few sort of similar moves that you'd see in the advanced variation of the Caro Kann, even though it sort of started with exchanging the pieces. But seeing this pawn on c5 is something that you might see there. They've added another protector. We could actually deliver a check here, but they'll probably just block with the bishop or develop the knight, which I think just gives them some free development. I think probably we just continue to prepare to castle by moving our bishop to e7. That seems sensible to do that. So our opponent is a 1194 from Norway, Larcy88. And they're having a think about what they're going to do, but I'm imagining that they'll probably castle. I think we're looking to castle now. Okay, so they bring the knight out. I mean, one thing we could do is just move this pawn here to stop any kind of thoughts of this. It kind of restricts that knight. So I'm kind of tempted to do that just in case that knight tries to jump in. We also have this bishop on this diagonal here attacking. You know, if it took there, we'd be able to take. If this knight came in here, we'd be able to take it. So it prevents that from happening. Okay, I'm actually going to, at this stage, I'm going to now castle. Let's see. Our opponent has done the same. Okay, I think in this scenario, we can probably bring the queen up so we can connect our rooks. That seems like a decent plan. We could bring our queen to here. Could be a little bit misplaced. We could actually try to dislodge this pawn here. If we push this pawn, they take. We can then take, and then we're threatening that pawn. It does leave this pawn a bit weaker, but it gives us a file to attack down. It gives us two files to attack along, which is quite good in the Caro Kann. It actually defends that as well. Let's do it. This may be an inaccuracy. Okay, that's interesting. But now I could attack here if they push. Okay, I'm going to take. We've created a file to attack down now, so we'll try that. They need to decide on what they're going to do. I'm expecting them to probably take here. So in the Caro Kann, we really want to focus our attentions on this side of the board and attacking along this side. We could bring our queen to here. We really need a rook on it, but if we move this rook over, they can take that, which is not ideal. We could maneuver our knight to this square. If they take, we take. We could actually come all the way out and attack this. If they bring this in here, we just take. If they bring it in here, we take, or we can just take. So I think the knight has to move, and it gives us a chance to bring the other rook over here, I think. We can always drop the queen back afterwards, but it moves the queen out of the way, clearing the way for us to move our rook over there. I want to leave this rook on this file here, I think. I suppose they could try to force a queen trade by bringing the queen down here. That could be one option. It gets their knight active and then able to sort of think about hopping in here, which is not what I really want. Actually, no, it can't do that. If it brought the queen in here, I could just take the knight, so that doesn't make sense. They could move the knight here, where it's actually protected by the queen. They could actually move this bishop here. Then if they did move the bishop there, we'd have to be a bit careful about it revealing an attack on us. It could basically, if it moved the bishop there and then moved the knight, then our queen would be attacked. Fairly even on time. We've probably been taking a little bit more time than our opponent. Okay, so they moved the queen out to protect, which seems sensible. I'm going to move the rook to the open file. This was something that we were kind of already planning already. Okay, one of the things we need to be careful of is the queen is on this file here. So if they move the bishop over, we need to be wary of moves like that. They could actually mount an attack quite quickly. Okay, so now they are attacking our bishop, so I think we are going to take. Okay, so I think what we can do is we can probably bring our queen back to this file now. We've got the rook on the open file, which I think is quite nice. Let's drop the queen back. We're going to come, we've got ideas of bringing our rook up and creating a stack of pieces on this file. I don't really like our opponent's pawn here. I think that was quite a good move by our opponent to get the pawn on that onto c5. It's causing us a few issues. We could actually bring this knight here and then lift the rook. Okay, so it means that they can probably come in here, which is going to cause me a few issues. Right. Yeah, so how do we deal with that? Right, if they bring this knight in, if they bring the rook in, sorry, the knight in here, it's not actually threatening anything other than that. So I think I might bring that up. It enables me to double. I can, yeah, I thought they might do that. I'm going to double. Now, you know, we can sacrifice here potentially. If we sacrificed our rook, they would take with a pawn and then we take again. So we get a knight and a pawn for a rook, which would be a point of material down, but is worth considering because that knight is a bit of a pain there. But actually we can skip this knight over to here to add more pressure to this knight. That could be our next move. There's no checks. If the knight comes in, it's going to get taken. I think that we don't lose any momentum here. We have to attack this knight. They're preparing to do something here. I suppose they could come. Don't think it works quite yet. We've got to be very wary of attacks down here. But we are attacking this knight now. We are building pressure up down this open file. We have to be wary of our opponent's attack. They've got two bishops and a queen in quite a dangerous spot. But in the Caro Kann, the idea is to try to win material and get a pawn up along these files here. It's a little bit different. You'd usually be attacking up this file, but they advance this pawn. So we've kind of switched our attack to there. Okay, so they've taken that. Okay, so they've taken that pawn. I think we just take here. Just keep this file. They have to move the queen out of there, right? We're ready to kind of create a triple stack here. So if we manage to do that and we came up here, it would be take. That doesn't work. We don't want to lose. We don't want two rooks for a queen and a rook. Could push here. Take. We're threatening to take there. They could bring a rook to here and threaten my queen, but I can just move the queen. If we move that, we do end up with an isolated pawn, but it gives them some activity. Take. We're threatening that. Oh, they can just take that for free. That doesn't work. I think we want to keep that. Let's move the queen to here. It's still protecting this, and we're threatening that. Now, the queen would then need to move, and we'd be able to take this pawn and threatening this rook. We have a triple stack. That's got to be good. We're about even on time. We're maintaining our pawn structure here. Our opponent has two isolated pawns here. So our pawn structure is better, I'm sure. Let's just try and take our time, be calm, play sensible moves here. Okay. Carry on with our plan to attack this pawn. They might be preparing something here. We played that move quite quickly. The idea is to try to win a pawn and be a pawn up. And that's what we're trying to do. We're threatening to do that. He might bring his bishop back here. If he does, actually, if he moves this bishop, he leaves that hanging. He's created a bit of space for his king, which we don't have at the moment, so we need to be careful of back rank. Yeah, he might try and double up here and attack. Actually, no, this is protected twice, the knight, so that's all right. He can't move, right. He's done that and attacked this, but that would just be, he could come down, take and take. Well, I'm going to threaten. Let's go for this. We are threatening this rook now. If they take here, we just take. If they take here, we just take. If he does a check here, we just take. I think he probably has to take. Actually, this is a trouble for him because if he takes, I could take with check. Yeah, hang. Okay, check. I think we've won his rook now. So we're going to be a rook up. I don't think he realised that I could take with check. I can actually put him in check here too. Our opponent's miscalculated there and has actually decided to resign the game. So we are +8, we're on 12-20. Pleased with the performance there. Let's take a look at the game review. I'm going to switch to the analysis screen. We played with a 91.1% accuracy. Our opponent played pretty well. They played with an 81.9% accuracy. We played a 1900 rated game. Our opponent played a 1700 rated game. Our opening accuracy was 97.6. Our middle game accuracy was 85.5. We didn't make any mistakes, no misses, no blunders, just 3 inaccuracies. We played pretty well. I'm really pleased with that. If we carry on playing like this, we are going to continue to rise. Let's start the review. We played the Caro Kann. These are just book moves, and then we pinned the knight. This is excellent. They played a good move there. That was the best move. That was good. Our response was best, which is great. Best move to bring up to castle. This was actually an excellent move when we decided to bring our pawn up. So pleased with that. We castle, best. Okay, this was good. It preferred me looking to jump my knight in. They protected, which is good. That was the best move, attacking there. Bringing the queen up was good. That was excellent, coming to the open file. Taking was good. We could have hopped back and threatened the queen. Interesting. Because they had a knight here, and I think it is common in the Caro Kann to take once you've been under pressure, under certain conditions, and they had a knight here. So I decided to take. It was a good move. Oh, now bringing my queen back was an inaccuracy. The idea was to create a stack with the rook on top. You don't want the queen on top because you don't want to lose your queen, swap your queen for a rook. That was an inaccuracy bringing there. Oh, these were my inaccuracies. So it preferred me to, this was actually giving a slight advantage to my opponent. It wanted me to bring my knight in, but my thinking was I bring my rook here, I've got my stack, and the knight is unable to actually take anything, can't give me any checks. I'm not too worried. Now we attack. That was an excellent move. Oh, and our opponent here made a mistake. They went to take the pawn and we took the knight. They took back and we took with the rook, which was the best move. They should have moved their queen back there. We made the triple stack. That was the best move. They moved the queen back. Now we could have actually immediately pressured it. We went over here, which was our other inaccuracy, but we're actually almost +1 now. They brought their rook over, which was an inaccuracy, -1.6. So we're almost 2 up now. We made the best move here. And this was a blunder. Our opponent just didn't calculate properly because it enabled us to take, which is the best move. We're 5 points of material up now because the king has to basically move and then we get a free rook and then we'd be +6 in material and would have a significant advantage. So again, not an incredibly long game, but we're on a little bit of a winning streak here, which is great. We're up to 12:20. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, comment if you want to join the conversation, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Cheers, bye.